Good day everyone. In today's video, we're gonna talk about the different reflexes presented by a newborn. The first reflex is the asymmetric tonic neck reflex. Here is when the baby's head is turned to the side. Next is the Babinski reflex. Here, the baby curls and uncurls his or her toes when the bottom of the foot is stroked. This reflex disappears before 12 months or before the baby reaches 1 year of age. Next is the cross extension reflex. Here, when one foot of the baby is being held while the soles of the foot is being stroked, the other foot will raise and go towards the held foot. Next is a deep tendon reflex. Here it shows that the tendon of the baby is being hit by the percussion hammer, resulting in the raising of the foot of the baby. Next is the gallant or trunk incurvature reflex. Here is when the skin of one side of the baby is being stroked, the baby will move and swing to that side. This reflex will last until 6 months from being born. Next is the Landau reflex. Here is when you push the head of the baby down, the head comes up first, then the feet comes up next. This reflex lasts until 5 months from being born. Next is the Moro reflex. This is the baby's startled reaction. It happens when you are raising a baby, then immediately laying them down. They become startled and tends to raise their arms up. This reflex disappears after 4 to 6 months from being born. Next is the palmar grasp. When an object is placed at the palms of the baby tends to hold on to that specific object tightly. Next is the plantar grasp. Like the palmar grasp, any object that touches the soles of the feet are being held. Next is the placing reflex. Here is when holding an infant upright and let their feet touch the flat surface. They will start to step like they want to walk. This reflex lasts until 2 months from being born. Next is the rooting reflex. Here, when one side of the cheek of the baby is being touched, that baby tends to turn on that side. This reflex disappears in the first few weeks of life. Next is the sucking reflex. In this reflex, when an object is placed at the mouth of the baby tends to suck that object. Next is the symmetric tonic neck reflex. Here, the baby's body is laid downward, and then the head of the baby is being pulled back. Next is the blinking reflex. As you can see, I am using a doll. Just imagine this doll blinking. Next is the intrusion reflex. In this reflex, the baby spits any substance that touches its tongue, which are inedible. This reflex lasts until 4 to 6 months from birth.